we'll open up the floor for community Q&A, where if you have any questions. There are a number of mentors here on this group, even in this session. We have people like Charlie, we have Robert. I don't know if Bill is here, but there's a number of us who have been in the crypto space for a while. We'll open up the floor for community Q&A, where if you have any questions. That was just the recording. So we do have the recording. So this session is recorded for those of us who are unable to join. And yeah, so this is going to be pretty exciting. So without much ado, I'm going to introduce our first speaker, Charlie. So if you don't know about Charlie, Charlie is the founder of Subtle Asian Crypto and also Beatbox Finance. He has been in the crypto space for a while, and when he first discovered crypto, he saw the potential of crypto. So he saw the potential of crypto so much that he decided to drop out of school and go all in on crypto. And today, he's a crypto evangelist. He's working with different people, helping them get onto crypto. And one of his passion is in the beatbox world. And he's well known in the artist and musician community, educating and helping musicians get onto crypto. So without much ado, I'm going to welcome Charlie to the stage. So Charlie, the stage is yours.
Hello guys, how you guys doing? Hey Ed, could you allow me to record as well?
Yeah, feel free, you can record as you like.
All right.
I think I may have to give you record permission.
All right.
Well,
yeah, actually.
You're a co-host, so you should be able to record.
All right, perfect. Hey guys, how you guys doing today? It's an honor for me to present for y'all, and also I'm very thankful for Crypto Ed.
Sorry about that. I had to mute everybody in the room first. So try to unmute yourself, Charlie. There was some background music.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Like I was saying, yeah, it's an honor to teach you guys, and also having Ed, having this host as a host to allow me to show you guys the knowledge. And without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get you guys educated on the difference between on ramps and off ramps. And I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen for y'all. All right. All right, do you guys, does everybody see the screen? All right. All right, perfect. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start. So with crypto, I always start out with the philosophy first. So for the newer people that are just getting in, that haven't even bought Bitcoin yet, I always start with the philosophy to make sure that it's more than just making money. There's a bigger picture to it. So I start out with some quotes. So knowledge is power. So as Bruce Lee always says, absorb what is useful, discard what is useless, and add what is specifically your own. And also Warren Buffett always says it's good to learn from your mistakes, but it's better to learn from others. So these are tools for y'all. This presentation is a tool. It's a guidance for y'all. I've made many countless mistakes in my early journey of crypto, but this presentation is to allow you guys to pick and choose what's best utilized for y'all, but also to learn from other people's mistakes and make it the most efficient way to go about in the crypto space. So to start off, I always start with a perspective to give you guys a perspective of what crypto is for the newcomers. So think of crypto as a video game. Your digital coins is your life source. Don't hit zero. The internet is its own country. You are the bank and the hackers are the robbers. Let's keep each other safe as a community. So this is to give us perspective on now that crypto is out of the bag, Bitcoin is out of the bag, Bitcoin is a global currency. So it's our duty as a community to watch one another and take care of one another and allow us to make keep each other safe from the bad side of cryptos, because there are some risk to it that people that are new aren't as aware of, which it's our job to guide you guys as a community. So to start off, we're going to start off with some on-ramps versus off-ramps, which off-ramps are known as crypto exchanges. So on-ramps versus crypto exchanges, we can start out with the main functionalities. So an on-ramp, their main function is to convert cash, such as the US dollar, into crypto, mainly Bitcoin. So it's cash like US dollar, it can be any fiat currency based. And we're utilizing that to transfer to crypto, mainly Bitcoin. So a crypto exchange, they're mainly used to convert Bitcoin into other altcoins. So altcoins are alternative coins. Alternative coins are such as Ethereum. We have like DeFi projects such as like YFI. We have Aave. We have, these are considered as altcoins. Any coins besides Bitcoin. So what are the difference in fees? For an on-ramp fees, they're usually between 5 to 15%. This depends on which exchange you use. For example, like Gemini is an example of an on-ramp. You can use a USD to transfer into Bitcoins. Another one is Coinbase, but Coinbase has kind of like this mixture of on-ramp kind of with crypto exchanges, but nonetheless, you still can transfer US dollar into Bitcoin. Crypto exchanges are mainly 0 to 1% fees, little to no spread. So for example, like on Binance, most people don't buy Bitcoin from US dollar in Binance. What they usually do is they buy Bitcoin from like Coinbase and they transfer that Bitcoin into Binance, and then they use the Bitcoin that they have on Binance and they buy other altcoins. But the benefit in doing that is cheaper fees, or the trading fees are way less. So furthermore, the coin selection for on-ramps are very limited. The only exchange I would say that has a lot of variety is Coinbase, but nonetheless, they are very limited. Like for example, like Cash App only has Bitcoin. Cash App is a good example of an on-ramp. Crypto exchanges are they have versatile amounts of coins. There's so much in variety. If you guys see Binance, they have so much different coins that they list and unlist just depending on the demand, because how Binance makes money is through the trading fees. So their goal is to find the coins and list the coins that their community are trading the most in. So next is KYC requirement. KYC is know your customer. So in an on-ramp, KYC is needed for $1,000 and plus. Obviously, that just depends on the different on-ramps, but in most cases, if you want to do large transactions to buy Bitcoin in your country, they most likely for on-ramps, they require KYC to prevent like scammers or fraudulent tax evasion, etc. Crypto exchanges such as Binance, it's optional. KYC allows more features. For example, on Binance, if you provide KYC, you can withdraw more Bitcoins in a certain limit, or you can increase the amount of Bitcoins you would want to withdraw. So it's just to show the comparison. And last but not least, regulations for on-ramps. So regulations for on-ramps, because majority of these on-ramps are associated with their country, they have to abide by their regulatory framework. For example, Coinbase is abided by the US. Gemini, it's in New York. It's from New York. It's owned by the Winklevoss twins. They have to abide by the US laws. Crypto exchanges, for the most part, their laws are not really clear. They're defined for overseas exchanges. So for example, Binance, you could utilize a VPN. So anybody can, because Binance is a Chinese exchange, but they created it not in China. So it's not abided by Chinese regulation rules. So anybody can technically get on Binance with a VPN and still use it. I'm gonna go ahead and continue on. If anybody has any questions, do write on the group chat, and I'll be looking back and forth to see if anybody has any questions. But if no one does, I'm gonna move on. So furthermore, so let's do it step by step. So if you're a newcomer, just someone told you, hey, how do you buy Bitcoin? These are the steps. KYC stands for Know Your Customer. VPN is a virtual private network. So a virtual private network is used so you can basically you can kind of hide your IP address. So if you're in the US, you can hide your IP address and make it so that you're from Europe. So for example, like Netflix, like you can use a VPN to access more shows because Netflix has certain shows playing in certain countries versus others. So, and golf is explaining it perfectly. So so for the step by step, if someone was new and they didn't know anything how to buy Bitcoin, these are the steps. So if you guys are new, this is what I would recommend on which on ramps and off ramps to use. Anything that is not mentioned, I highly suggest you guys research, do your own due diligence. But for the most part, these exchanges that I'm going to present to you guys are researched and credible. So step one is buy Bitcoin through an on-ramp. So what's an on-ramp? Reputable on-ramps include Gemini. So if you click on Gemini, so this is how Gemini is going to look like. Load. All right, so this is Gemini right here. It's owned by the Winklevoss. So they also have different variety of coins as well. You got like Filecoin, Aave. So just check out Gemini. Gemini is a pretty good on ramp as well. Coinbase. Everyone knows Coinbase. We also got Coin Mama, and we also have Cash App. So these are the four that I honestly, I personally use either Cash App, Coinbase, even Gemini. So I've used personally Gemini, Coinbase, and Cash App, and I've had no problems at all. But anyways, further to continue, this is the most important thing I want you guys to understand. Not your keys is not your crypto, which that means is everyone with Bitcoin has a form of a private key in their wallet and a digital wallet. This is where I always hone on, never buy from Robinhood and never buy from PayPal. And the reason why is you can only buy and sell. You cannot withdraw your own. You don't technically own your Bitcoin, the Bitcoin that you quote unquote buy, because Robinhood and PayPal actually hold your crypto. So that is not the whole idea of the philosophy of crypto. What crypto is about is you want control of the money. You want control of the money in terms of how to. It's a currency and an investment. So with that being said, like, why would you leave it to Robinhood and PayPal? It is our own job and it is our own duty to understand that if we do use Robinhood and PayPal, just be aware. And I'm not saying you not to use it, but just be aware that it's not yours technically. Any questions on that? Yes, exactly. They issue. It's like an IOU, just like Kamel says. Step number 2: send the Bitcoin to a mobile wallet for self-storage and self-custody. Right. So some mobile wallets, crypto wallets I recommend is Atomic Wallet. I've actually used Atomic Wallet. They even have different coins, and Atomic Wallet is a decentralized wallet. You own they have their own private keys. So you can access Atomic Wallet anywhere around the world as long as you have an internet connection. So and as long as you have the internet connection and the private key. So that's a good example of a mobile wallet. We also have Exodus Wallet. We also have Trust Wallet. Trust Wallet is also pretty good. It's a decent decentralized exchange. Definitely look in. It just depends on your area, right? But for the most part, these are welcome like worldwide because of its decentralized nature. To continue, next, we also do have hardware wallets. If you guys don't want to like hold it on in your phone. You just want to put it in and just forget about it for a couple of years. And Alex actually is well known. He actually can guide you guys on how to utilize Ledger to the fullest potential. He's actually a professional hacker, I believe.
Well, cybersecurity expert.
Well, yeah, a
Yeah.
security expert, I guess in that sense.
Hacker
So
has a negative connotation to
white
it.
white hacker, or white hat.
Yes.
There we go. Yes, there we go. Yeah, so definitely hit him up. He's very knowledgeable in on hardware wallets. So we got the Ledger. We also got the Trezor. Based off of Alex's perspective, he believes Ledger is the best option. So if you guys want to
Yeah.
learn more,
He has hacked into like a lot of wallets, and the only hardware wallet he hasn't been able to hack into to recover funds for people who forgot the password was the Ledger. So
right?
if our community mentor cannot get into Ledger, then you can be assured that it's pretty safe.
Correct. And the benefit of a ledger is basically the ledger is it's just like a USB stick. You can basically connect it to your computer. You can send your Bitcoin into the ledger, and the ledger has its own private keys. So all you need is the stick, and you just need an internet connection. Just stick it in, and boom, your coin. Or you don't even need an internet connection. My bad. It's already in the stick. So that's an option as well. If you guys don't want to, always keep track of it, and you might lose, you might forget your password because there's the private key, and then you can also set up a password. So that's another alternative option you guys could use. So the next step is send Bitcoin to. So if you guys don't want to put it in a hardware wallet, and you buy the Bitcoin from the on ramp, and instead of just owning Bitcoin, and you guys want to buy like DeFi projects or certain coins that aren't on Coinbase, then you would want to send Bitcoin to a crypto exchange and buy the desired altcoins. And a good site to find all these exchanges is CoinGecko, and I'm gonna show you briefly on and I recommend you guys, for the newcomers, CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap is one of the best ways to search up all the variety of coins that are listed. I personally like CoinGecko better, but everyone has their likes and dislikes. But for the most part, these are all the exchanges. So we have a lot of variety of exchanges. So it just depends on your country, where you're from. But for the most part, Binance is the most popular. Second is Coinbase. So this is a perfect tool for you guys to utilize to search up all the different exchanges for said desired coin or said desired altcoin. Furthermore, I actually have used Binance before. I mistakenly logged in and they banned me, basically. For like, you need a VPN essentially for Binance, but for US customers, I'm from the US, Binance.us is a better alternative. Furthermore, I actually also used KuCoin as well, but those are all the variety of exchanges, so it's very versatile. Step 4 is send the altcoin, and send altcoins and resend Bitcoin to a mobile wallet. So resend it back. Don't leave it on these exchanges, because again, not your keys, not your crypto, right? So you would want to resend your altcoins, and you want to resend said Bitcoin if you didn't use it all. Or if you guys want to take the risk, you guys can. But KuCoin did get hacked, right? But for the most part, a lot of these exchanges are insured. Binance, for example, is a centralized exchange, but insurance is a thing that they do have. Binance did get hacked once, but they were insured, so none of their funds got technically stolen. But there's always that risk caveat. So just be aware. And I recommend, given you guys have the said coin and you guys are thinking long term, send it back into the said decentralized wallets. Furthermore, this is a picture. It's like a visual picture for those to see, and shout out to Ed, 1 Hour Investing, for providing this picture to visualize and see the process. So it's fiat first, then we got the on-ramps, we got, for example, Coinbase, Cash App, Gemini, etc. Then we have the decentralized crypto wallets, mobile wallet, and then you guys could either put it into the hardware wallet and just hold it, or you can send it to a crypto exchange, or even if you guys want to, you can do it from the on-ramps, and you could skip this step and just send it to the crypto exchange and then send it back. It doesn't really matter, it just depends. But cryptos like mobile wallets such as Atomic Wallet already have a variety of coins, so it just depends on your preference. Also, these are the tools that I've been talking about: CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap. We also have Infinite Market Cap. So this is something that I don't think a lot of people realize, but I really like this because it shows you all the asset classes around the world. And as you guys can see, Bitcoin is in 8th place. It's right. It's right below Google. And I remember like 2 months to a month back, Bitcoin was right below Tesla, and we're already here. And if Bitcoin is said to be the digital gold, gold is 11.41 trillion, and Bitcoin right now is, let's say, rounding up like 1 trillion. So we have another 10x to go. Just to show you guys some perspective, this is also a 8marketcap.com is also a good website to utilize. Furthermore, I believe that's pretty much it for me. If you guys have any questions, go ask on the Subtle Asian Crypto group. We have the Facebook. If you guys want, go ahead and join. We also have a Discord on the Facebook. We have like our own free academy. It's free, and if you guys are new to it, we have the beginner education for Bitcoin, beginner education for Ethereum, the centralized exchanges, decentralized exchanges, the crypto wallets, even portfolio trackers, and even tax. So shout out to the team. Definitely check out the Discord. It's more active nowadays because of the recent boom in crypto. This is the link tree, and this is also I also have another nonprofit org. It's called Beatbox Philanthropy, where I try to teach artists how to utilize NFTs and blockchain to their advantage, and get rid of third parties, record label companies that self-profit just because they have money. But if you guys are interested, do check it out. We also do have Clubhouse show days on Subtle Asian Crypto. Go check us out. Come follow us. It is only available for iPhone for now. And yeah, thank you guys for your time. Follow SAC Facebook. Share the SAC Facebook group if you found any value to other people. Invite them in. I'll be sharing this PowerPoint to the group. Definitely utilize the links that I've provided. There is no referral code or anything attached to it, so it's all for you guys. It's for the benefit for you guys to utilize. Definitely check it out. Check out our group and give us a follow and give us a share. Without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it back to Ed.
Yeah, that's a great presentation, Charlie. Thanks for thanks for giving us a quick crash course on what on-ramps and exchanges are. Because I know a lot of people, they couldn't figure out the difference between an on-ramp and an offshore exchange, and they always ask like, "Oh, how can I buy using Binance?" And the answer is you don't, because it's an offshore exchange. You don't know how stringent will they be in handling your personal information. At least anything that is within your country, they have to follow like regulatory guidelines and keep your personal information safe. Like you wouldn't trust like scanning your driver's license or passport and sending it to some like faceless company. So this is why I'm like, we do at our community, like we always recommend like going with what is available within the regulatory framework, and in context of using exchanges, we will say that I'm like use the one that you are most comfortable, and also one that goes alongside with the law, right? So yeah, so the next part, we're going to start our tutorial hands-on session with on how to use a crypto exchange, right? So these are some links for you. If you don't know where to start, these are just some links on like how the tools we're using for this demo. We are using Binance, so I'm just going to share this here. Like just for full transparency, these are referral codes, links for the community, and all the referral funds will be going to the demo account, which you'll be seeing as trade with. And yeah, and I do, in my personal opinion, I think that like if we give a link without a referral code, some guy in a chair with a pimple in his nose working for Binance will be keeping the money. So might as well put that into a demo account so that we can all watch it go to the moon or go down the drain together. And yeah, I do want to be clear that I'm not the Wolf of Wall Street. I can't I can't predict the whole market. So this is something that we're all doing together. And my crypto story is I'm just in crypto maybe a couple steps ahead of you guys, right? I'm not like someone who was working alongside with Satoshi. I wish I was, but at least I'm like I am just like any of you guys in this room, right? We just want to grow. We want to learn more about crypto and be part of this movement where we want to take finance and bring it into the hands of the everyday users. So let's get started with the demo right here, right? So if you're not familiar with this, you can start off by opening up an account with Binance. I do have an account set up already. So for this case, you see this link, so you can do that. But whoops, that's not the right link. But let's go here. So I do have an account already, so I'm just gonna log into the demo account, and with the demo account, I did fund small amounts so that we can watch and see how to get started, right? So first off, you have to log in first. So I'm just going to log in off the screen, but you also need to make sure that you have like funds from outside first too. So whether you are sending from an on-ramp or from your wallet already, you have to know where you're sending it from. So for my case, I actually have some crypto on another wallet already, which I'm sending it over. And then let's see some questions people have while I log in. So some people are asking about like transaction fees and link fees. Depending on which like network you are in, right? You may or may not be paying a lot in fees, but you can see for Binance, they do force you to do like a two-step verification system, right? Which I think is very important because with two-step verification, if someone does have access to your computer, which you should always be worried because this could happen for anybody. If they don't have the two-step verification, they can't access your Binance account. So for my case, I do have a Binance account. And if you're not familiar with a two-step verification, basically like this code they provide, it changes every 10 seconds. So that, and the only way to access this is through the app on your phone, right? You need to have like a Google Authenticator. And I do always recommend like having that function on. So let's so now that we're all logged in here, if you guys want to, you guys can log in as well too. And you can see this is just the Binance Binance website, you can see this interface right here, right? There's a lot of things right here. It looks very busy. You have like all these numbers here. You have like all these coins like BTC, USDT, and if you're looking at this for the first time, you may be confused. You may be wondering, okay, how do I look at this? But before we start, we want to load up some money first, right? Load up some crypto first. So assuming that you have crypto from an on-ramp already, you can send it over. For my case, I'm going to be sending it over from a wallet. I do have like a browser wallet. This is called Tron Link. So I have some Tron coins. For some of you guys, you may have Bitcoin. Some of you may have Litecoin. And to better understand this, I'm working with Tron coins right here. Right, you can see right here I have 500 Tron for this example. This is 500 Tron. Right, it's worth about $23, almost $24. I'm going to send this over, right, to Binance. But now the question is, okay, who's the receiving account? You go on Binance, and then you scroll down to the coin, right? You search for the coin. For my case, it's Tron. I look up Tron, and you notice now how does it have Tron down, Tron up. The other two, you don't have to worry about. These are more for like shorting and margin play, right? But for my case, I have Tron. I want to send Tron over. And then you get to this page. It's called the deposit page, right? And the big thing you want to keep an eye out for is this part. You have like BEP2, you have an ERC20, and you have like TRC20. And if you don't understand this, it's okay, because a lot of people don't get that in the crypto space, you have different chains. Think of it as different currencies, right? Different currencies or different formats of the same coin. So Tron, they can be on the Tron network. It can be on the Ethereum network, or it can be on the Binance network. Because the Tron I have is from the Tron network, I'm using the Tron network address. And notice that every time I switch to a different one, they have a different address, right? So if you see an address starting with 0x, that's usually an Ethereum based address. But for Tron, right, I have this address. I can copy it and go over here. I'm going to send some Tron. I'm going to send so this is it says it has not been activated because Binance set up a new account for me, right, just for receiving. So I'm going to do 499 Tron. I'm saving 1 Tron behind for transaction fees, and then I can send. And they'll ask me, are you sure you want to send this address? Before I send, I always check, right, the receiving address, right? THLJK. Look at it. Okay, THLJK. And then the last 6, EBBXYY. Same thing. EBB or BBXYY, right? Everything looks good. And I press accept. And then you'll see that the Tron is on its way. You'll see that right here. 499 Tron is on its way to Binance. And this is the part where it gets a bit scary because, you don't know whether it's gonna arrive. I know the first time when I sent like crypto around, I get scared. I wonder, oh no, am I going to get it? And usually my recommendation is you always send like a small amount first. Like send maybe like $1 first to make sure that the address you just copy here is correct. If it goes through, then you can send the rest of the payment. Some people may do like 2 or 3 or 4 separate payments, but there has been times you may have seen on the news that like a whale may send like 500 Bitcoin in one transaction and pay only like $1 for the transaction fee. But so this is just so this is the tense moment, and usually I just press like refresh just to see like has the transaction been received on the Binance side. And you can see right here, right? Deposit history, Tron, 499, the amount that we just sent has been received on the Binance end. So we know that, so we can breathe a sigh of relief knowing that our token is finally with Binance, and we can start having fun with it. So yeah, so let's take a look at some of the comments and what people are saying. Yeah, you plan on doing so? Yeah, transfer to your cold wallet and you don't touch it. Yeah, there are some fees about when it comes to transferring back and forth, and my recommendation is always have like a cold wallet and then you have a hot wallet, and then whenever you interact with whenever you interact with exchange, just interact with the hot wallet to keep to ensure your privacy. And then 6 blockchain cycle to confirm safely. I think for Tron, because Tron is a very fast network, right? They have a new block, like I believe it's either every second or every other second. One transaction is enough for Binance to confirm that the transaction has been made. So now we can take a look at go here, right? So we can go here, take a look at markets, and you may notice that there are different pairs, right? You have like BTC, you have like different coins like BTC and DOT. DOT is Polkadot, right? And then you could also notice that you have like DOT and BNB. So if you don't know what a trading pair is basically like 2 different coins. It's a dedicated page where you can trade between one coin to the other. Right. For this case, it's between Polkadot and BNB. You can also change like between them. You also see like other format. You have like DOT and USDT. You have DOT and BTC. You have like DOT and they don't have ETH, DOT and ETH, but you can see there are different pairs, right? And before you place a trade, it's always important to know like what are the 2 coins you're working with, right? For our case, we have a lot of Tron at the moment, and if we want to have some fun, it's probably a good idea to convert it all to BTC, so at least we have a certain standard to work with. Yes, what Goff said, it's like Forex. Yeah, it is like Forex. You have different coins, different currency. It's like different currency. In fact, they call it cryptocurrency in the first place. So for our case, to make it easy, we're going to sell all of our Tron. Remember, we started off with 499 Tron. We're going to sell all of them to BTC, so that we have something to work with. So if when it comes to placing an order, notice that you have on the right side of your Binance Exchange account, you have limit and you have market. For those of you who are not familiar, on most exchanges, or at least online crypto to crypto exchanges, you have the option of placing an order at whatever the price it is. Right, whatever price I guess the market is going at. So you can see that right now the market rate is about like 96 satoshis. Right, if I press sell Tron right now, I'm selling all my Trons at 96 satoshi each. If I don't like the price, I can actually set the price to something like, oh, I don't like this price. Maybe I want to sell it at like 100 satoshi, right? At least make like 4 satoshi more per Tron. And this is a way you can actually place some sell orders at different regions, so that if the price of your coin goes up, it'll auto sell at that point. So, but for our case, we want Bitcoin right now. We want to have Bitcoin right now to play with. So we're going to sell it at the market rate. It may not be like, if we look at the hourly candle, we did have a small run up since this morning. So we are in a fair position to sell, but you can see that I put 100% and I press sell, and then I sell. And you notice that there are 2 pop-ups, right? It just said like, congratulations, you sold your Tron for BTC. So now we have some BTC to play with. It's not a lot. It's about I'm probably have to convert it all, but it's like about like $40-$50 we're working with, but that's enough for this demo, right? With what we're doing. And yes, Golf just asked, is BNB considered a stable coin? No, BNB is the token on the Binance network. So they are actually the house coin for the Binance exchange, and they do have a price. Currently, the price of BNB is about $250. If you want to know what is the stable coin, which I think is maybe a good idea to quickly go over too, right? A stable coin is a coin that is pegged 1-to-1 to the dollar, or at least as close to the dollar. So you have tokens like USDT, which is US dollar tether. You have BUSD, which is the Binance version of the USDT. And then you have like a bunch of other one, like TUSD, which is like true USDs. And so you have all these coins, right, they claim that they are pegged 1-to-1 to the US dollar. And the main benefit for using a stable coin, right, is if you believe that Bitcoin is about to drop, you feel that like whatever token, right, it's about to drop, and you want to hold on to the value in US dollar, right, at the position before it drops. That's one way you can do that. You can convert it over to Tether, so that you do have on paper the value like of in US dollars, but you have to know that this is not US dollar. It's just a stable coin, right? You can always convert it to US dollar later on, like whether at an exchange or at a peer-to-peer, right? But the fees for transitioning and turning like your Bitcoin to a stable coin is a lot cheaper than, let's say, sending it over to an off ramp, right? Sending it to like Coin Mama and turning it back to US dollars. Usually when you work with an on ramp, they charge between like 5 to like 15%. And if you can get the same effect, if the point of going onto stablecoin is to lock in your value, right, to take profit so that you can redeploy later on, it's way cheaper to just switch to a stablecoin so that you can redeploy it later on. So like for some people, they would have like start turning their Bitcoin. So this is a chart of Bitcoin. You can notice how Bitcoin was going up. And if you recall, since this weekend, it started dumping, right? So you can imagine some people would have been like selling the Bitcoin for USDT like around this area at around like 55 to 60K. And then after this big dump, they would take the USDT they have and start buying back, right, at like 40K, 48K, 44K, and be ahead. And I always tell people, right, like don't send your like your Bitcoin to an off ramp to turn it back to US dollars. Sometimes it's just better to just switch it to a Tether, send it to your hardware wallet if you're planning on keeping for a long term. But usually when you're in Tether, you are planning on making a quick trade. You're making a quick trade to Tether and then switching back to Bitcoin shortly after. Yeah, so it looks like a lot of you guys are finding it helpful and starting to get like the point of Tether and stablecoins. Yeah, and yeah, a lot of people love stablecoins because of that reason. Like traders love that. Like instead of paying like 5%, 10%, you're paying like 0.1%. 0.1%, and even cheaper if you're using like a community referral code. But also it's important to note that every time you turn Bitcoin to Tether, it is a taxable event, meaning whatever you switch it to, you do have to record it. And once you record it, right, you may have taxes payable. So it's important to keep note of that. And then let's see, if you want to, and then let's take a look at some of the community questions. For a growth strategy where you want to increase the total position of base currency, will the quote currency already deplete at the same rate? So it comes down to what you're acquiring. So someone is asking about like how for growing. Like when you're swapping back and forth, like will you deplete? It comes down to the main the currency you're keeping track of, right? in the crypto space, there are usually two currencies you use as like a base, right? If you're trading between Bitcoin, if you're trading between Bitcoin and USDT, then obviously USDT is the base currency you compare Bitcoin to. But if you're working with an altcoin like Cardano, ADA, right? ETH, Uniswap, right? Any token, right? Generally, it's probably a good idea to use Bitcoin as the base token because you're in Bitcoin already, and sometimes whenever you take a position in an altcoin, right, you are hoping that this coin will grow faster than Bitcoin. So it would make more sense to use Bitcoin as the base currency to compare. So that way, if it grows, right? So let's for this case, let's look at Uniswap, right? Uni token, right? You compare to Bitcoin. You want to make sure that the comparison token, which is Uni, right, is increasing against Bitcoin value. So you can see this is a Uni to BTC. The higher the candle, the price goes, means the more valuable Uniswap is compared to Bitcoin. And when you're in an altcoin position, you want the altcoin to grow faster than Bitcoin because otherwise there's no point for you to go to an altcoin. And that's how you maximize your gains. And then Dave has a question. Would you maximize gain by having a trading pair where one is pumping while the other is dumping? It depends on what your strategy is because sometimes it may be advantageous to have a coin that is pumping while other coins are dumping. Maybe Bitcoin happens to be dumping, but you happen to have a coin that goes inverse to Bitcoin, or at least it's still growing because of certain fundamental reasons. And we have noticed that for this week alone, right? Despite Bitcoin dumping, Cardano, ADA, has continued growing. In fact, it has surpassed one of the highest points. So this is something to note. And yes, sometimes if you are planning on accumulating Bitcoin, right? And if you're in a coin that is growing and even if Bitcoin is dumping, you can consider yourself ahead because at any moment you can switch it back to Bitcoin, and you would have been better ahead than the person who's just hodling Bitcoin, right? And so now we've figured out a lot of these basics. Let's have some fun with buying and selling positions. So if you guys have a Binance account, it would be a great idea to pull it up, open it up. And I'm going to go over some of the key, some key interfaces that you should keep it. You should at least know how they work. Otherwise, you are no different than someone who doesn't know anything and is blindly buying. So you can see this box right here, right? This is known as the order book. Yep, do not share your personal Binance account. Yep, that's why I have a demo account. And if you guys are using the community referral code, you are adding to the community account. So so you can see this box right here, right? This box right here is the order book. You can see that it's a list of all the orders on Binance right now. So you can see there's a lot of people who are who have sell orders, right? From here, you have people who say that I'm willing to let go of my ADA if Bitcoin goes up to this price, right? 2,070 sats, right? And you have less going down. And then on the other side, you have people who are willing to buy. They have set an order. They say that if Bitcoin ever drops down to, let's say, 2052, I will buy 91,000 of ADA. So this is just a quick example of what these two boxes are, right? It's just a list of users who are willing to buy or sell at different prices. And usually where they meet, a transaction occurs. And of course, right now, Cardano is like pretty still at about like 2061, 2062 right at the moment. So suppose you want to get in on ADA right now, right? One way you can do it is do it through the market price. But suppose you believe that Cardano is a bit hot, you don't want to go in right away, right? Maybe you want to buy a bit right now and then buy the rest later on, like as if the price drops. So one way you can do that is you can set a price, right? So for this case, I'm using this indicator is known as the Bollinger Band. So you have the top of the band and the bottom of the band. You also have like a support line, right? This is like a moving average line, right? So let's say right now I feel that Cardano compared to BTC is a bit high, and I feel that I'm more comfortable buying it in. If it ever dips down to 1800, I can set an order for 1800. Usually you don't want to set at 1800, you want to do like 1810, right? Because you don't want to have the whole number bias. A lot of people, they like to put orders at like perfect numbers, like hundreds, thousands, right? Always add in a bit more so that your order can get taken out. Because the worst thing is you have a buy order somewhere here, your coin drops just maybe like 5 sats away, and you miss out on that buying in. So for this case, let's say I'm going to buy. You can set like 75%, 100% your BTC. For this case, let's do 20 Cardano. Let's set up a buy order for 20, and then just press this buy order right here, and you see on the open orders box. So this is the open orders box, right? You see all the orders I place, right? But these orders have not been processed yet because the price hasn't been met yet. So you can see this order right here says, I'm willing to buy if it drops down to 1810. And so this is how you can set up an order. So that if it drops, if it dips, you'll have an autofill order. There are pros and cons to it. The pro to it is you don't have to buy at the current rate right now, right? And if the price of Cardano drops against Bitcoin, you can get in at a discount. And some people may actually ladder different buy orders. So let's say you think that it could drop even more. Maybe you think that's going to drop to like 70 cents, right? You can put in another buy order, right? You can do this, put in another buy order right here. Right, and I just put in another buy order right here. So one order at 1810, another at 1410, and maybe I think it's going to drop under 1,000. Right, I'm going to do like 999 right here. If it drops to under 1,000 to 50 cents, I can put in another order right here too. And then I can do like another order for 12. And then you can see right here. So and you can see that what you see here is a ladder, right? You can see a ladder of buy orders. So instead of buying it all at 2,000 and 2,055, I have a bunch of buy orders, such that if it drops, and if it meets any of these, prices, it'll that buy order gets triggered. And if it drops to 999, then I'm buying it at a very big discount. And this is one way you can dollar cost average your way into a coin. Dollar cost average doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, you buy like every month, right? It can also be like you can also average across the prices instead of average across the time. So this is one way you can like get into a coin at a discount. So yeah, feel free to post any questions. If you have any questions, then feel free to post in the chat. But this is just one example of how to get into coin. And then likewise, we can also, I'm just going to cancel all these orders right now. So So yes, some Aaron just asked, is selling ADA to BTC a taxable event? Yes, it is a taxable event. ADA and yeah, whenever you switch from one crypto to another crypto, for most jurisdictions, it is a taxable event. You have to check your jurisdiction to see about that. And then okay, I noticed that one of our mentors, Robert, wants to say something, and so I'm just going to mute him to add in a comment. Okay, so and then Dave asked the question about is it dangerous to ladder limit on ShakePay? So ShakePay is an on ramp, so it is a different situation. I can't speak too much on that. My recommend, I guess, how I use Shake on ramps is I usually just convert it straight to Bitcoin and then send it all over to an exchange or to a wallet first, and then I just do my buy and sell orders using the exchange, because I believe that you are also paying like you're paying a lot in like a fixed fee, like when you're using ShakePay. And then Daphne said stable coin to dollar is not a taxable event. It depends. But usually it is a taxable event, but you're not really like making any gains, right? You're switching $1,000 USDT to 1,000 stable coin. So like you are not incurring any capital gains. So it's technically taxable, but they don't have anything to tax you on. So yeah. So and then I think Robert, you want to share something or?
Yeah, sure. If you don't mind, if I can share my screen, help clarify something that was mentioned in the chat. But basically, yes, every transaction is a taxable event. You just got to be careful. Some stable coins, which are basically just the most popular ones, that they've proven themselves over time. They've tested I guess, long term, which is 10 years. They've been around. Then they're more solid. They're more likely to stick around still. But
you should be able to share a screen now, Robert.
Sorry?
You should be able to share a screen.
Yeah, I'm going to do that right now. So basically, just to clarify one of the questions earlier we had, which was about the base currency. So I have here, you can see this is now in Forex, but it's the same as crypto trading, cryptocurrencies, or just monetary currencies. They always trade in pairs. So you can see here, you've got the euro and USD. So the first one is always the base currency, and the second one is the quoted currency. You don't have to get too caught up on that and get confused. Just know that, yes, they do move inversely to one another. So when you have the euro going up, the US dollar going down, and opposite. If you look closely in between the pair, you always have this little slash. What that represents is basically, if you've ever seen a seesaw, and as this goes down, this one goes up. So this little triangle in the middle, that's the equivalent of that slash in the middle. So they move inversely to one another. So to answer two questions at the same time, yes, when one goes up, the other goes down. Therefore, if let's just say the US dollar were to crash big time, even if the euro didn't do anything special, now you need a lot more of those much cheaper dollars to buy the same amount of euros. So therefore, this would have gone up. Now, if you're looking at a chart, right, and the chart is going up, that means that the first currency on the left of the pair is the one that is going up, okay? And that means that the US dollar is getting cheaper at the same time. Conversely, if the chart is going lower, that means, again, the one on the left, which is the euro, is the one that's dropping in value. And we don't really even need to talk about the US dollar going up in value when we're looking at a chart of the euro. So yes, we can find, which one is more likely to go up, which one is more likely to go down. If we look at some indicators, that's something that I think I'm going to be sharing more next week with you guys, or in 2 weeks. But definitely you can see here that there's different things to look out for. It's definitely valuable to learn how to trade in general, because when you learn how to trade Forex or cryptos or stocks or gold or indices, they're all the same. How they work, how they behave, how they move. All the indicators are the same. All the candles are the same. All the indicators and patterns are the same. So in this particular slide I had up here, yes, I was teaching someone how to trade Forex, talking about the major pairs, minor pairs, how to calculate the pips and the quotes. It's a little bit different than cryptocurrencies, but that's something we can touch on perhaps next time. And the most important thing is that you can actually make money whether things are going up or things are going down. Most people don't even realize that. They're always asking, what should I buy, rather than what's a good trade, both to the upside or to the downside, because sometimes things fall faster than they can go up. And if things can fall faster, pretend something went up for 10 years and then it drops in 1 year. Chances are you can make 10 years of profit in just a single year, right? So that's something that is important to note. And there's different types of entries. So, what Ed was talking about right now, he was showing a buy limit order. He was waiting for the price to go down first before he would buy it. So basically here you can see an example of a buy limit order. We have the price right here, but he mentioned, I want the price to come down to here first before it'll buy. Even while I'm sleeping, he executed the order, but he didn't actually enter the trade. Once you're in the trade, though, from that price is where he will make profit to the upside. So that's an example of a buy limit order. If it doesn't go that low, then it will just simply never enter that price. If it never touches that price, even if it goes back up, he's not in that trade. So that's just a quick example of some of the stuff that we can be sharing. It's important to learn how to trade stocks, indices, commodities, gold, silver, oil, Forex, and crypto together in the same boat. Then you've got economic data, central banks, policies, and news. Everything is coinciding together. For example, today we had the central bank, some big news, massive news, and this is for crypto too. There was basically an outage at the central bank for 3 hours. Interbank connectivity. This is historic. This should be talked about all over the news today. 3 hours. If it was 5 minutes, it would have been catastrophic. 3 hours, though, I've actually seen several times throughout the last couple of decades I've traded where there was just a 15-minute interruption in the NASDAQ and things went back to normal, like a power outage or something. And it was suspicious for me how those 15 minutes behaved. And guess what happened? The following day, we had a 5% crash in the stock market based on something weird going on. I'm almost willing to say something bad is about to happen because for the traditional markets, which would benefit cryptocurrencies. Because if you have, let's say, a big meltdown, I'm not saying there's going to be one tomorrow, but I wouldn't be surprised if this next week is going to be some panic because, you've heard about this talk about a great reset. And this has to do with the currency system and also the banking system. Now, it's almost fishy to me today, the banking system not operating for 3 hours is pretty much how long it would take to kind of implement a new system, like maintenance for a website. You actually have maybe converting over to a new system. You can only do one bank at a time, but they seem to maybe have had an opportunity today to switch over without telling anyone something's going on. So they might have done that on purpose. Then that's really, really pay attention. What's going to be happening to the markets over the next 30 days is not going to be typical what you've seen before. And I've usually made bold predictions like this and crazy stuff ended up happening. Now, also, if it was by accident, if it was just random, that's also concerning just as badly because that means that they don't have control over the system. What can prevent it from happening again tomorrow? So people should panic sell just based on that either way. So, but anyway, what Ed was talking about, dollar cost averaging, not buying all your position at once at the very beginning, scaling in, putting 25% of your money in this example, another 25%, another 25%, another 25%. Even though you're wrong on the initial direction, you wanted it to go up, it went down, you actually ended up making money. So it's all about not necessarily being perfectly accurate all the time, but also you want to just make sure that you're profitable. right? So yeah, that's pretty much all I had. But
Okay.
yeah, other than that, you can look at the patterns, look at the indicators, figure out what's going to happen, and you can easily compare two different things. So for example,
Yeah.
BTC USD, you pull up the chart, and actually this is kind of cool because just the other day I had drawn this. Don't worry about all these lines right now, but you can see here, there's just one pattern that I had drawn here explaining to someone, because I do teach on the side some students, when you have a wedge, you basically have the size of the beginning of the wedge is the size of the ensuing move when it breaks out to the upside or downside. So I had placed two trades, one to go up or one to go down when it breaks out of this wedge here. And that's what happened. So and on that day, which was February 17th, a week ago, I anticipated the move not only up, but to pause along these lines I had drawn a long time ago, and then a head and shoulders pattern, which did happen here, and then a fall back down. So like basically 10 predictions out of one prediction. And these are big moves. This is going from 50,000 to 58,000 back down. So this is some stuff that you can anticipate. You may look overwhelming at first because this is a cluttered chart, but the point is we make this simple to understand, and we'll be showing you more of this in the future. So definitely you don't want to miss those out. Today I draw these purple lines to explain what are some scenarios for Ethereum where we may head next. So that's something that you can base upon previous lines and different patterns. This is something that you can learn. Anyone can learn this. It's not difficult. And I'll be explaining this for people how to do this on your own so that you don't even need anyone. Yeah. And last thing, you can compare two different currencies to one another. BTC USD, you can overlay the charts, and you can see here I have a gold line, and that one is now giving me a comparison of the two currencies. I can change the colors, make it black and make it thicker. And you can see this black line is Bitcoin. So Ethereum seems to have outperformed Bitcoin since 2021, the beginning of the year. So that tells me that this black line down here can actually exceed growth now. You can actually see what happened. They were together at first. Ethereum, the candles here took off, but Bitcoin, this black line down here, did not. What happened? Ethereum fell harder, almost down to exactly where Bitcoin is. So we can play these gaps between the two and see what has better value, what's cheaper. And this does change from time to time. And you can definitely find which one is a better opportunity. You can see Ethereum has been doing very well lately, but this is a very messy chart. I want you to know that we teach, let me get Litecoin here. So you can see a clean chart. It's not difficult if you're just comparing the two. So Litecoin seems to be following Bitcoin very closely. Where is it right now? You got Bitcoin up here, Litecoin down here. That tells me Litecoin would be the slightly better value currently at this current moment. Sometimes it's higher and it will fall faster. In this case, it's lower and it can rise faster. So by comparing 2 or 3 or 4 different currencies together, overlaying on the same chart, this will give you hints rather than trading blindfolded. And it depends, of course, how far back you look. You go look back further. In this case, Bitcoin has done very well, much higher. So it may give back some ground actually now to Litecoin. So that's just a quick sample, but we haven't really gotten over any of the indicators here because that's really where the money is at. You can find patterns. History does repeat. Patterns do repeat. There's a nice fresh crossover to the downside here. So you can see that that's going to maybe continue lower. This here, just think of it as a roller coaster. So anyway, I'll be explaining more of what all these things mean and make it simplified so that even within a matter of 1 hour, you will be able to become pretty much top 1% of traders that are trading blindfolded out there without utilizing the power and benefit of technical analysis in conjunction with their trading, because at the end of the day, you need to be looking at technical analysis, fundamental analysis, geopolitical analysis, and sentimental analysis. They're all valuable. They're all stuff to not ignore. A lot of traders out there will say, oh, I only do price action. I don't need to know what the fundamentals are. Well, it's not true. You want to make an informed decision by taking in as much as possible. So, but that's pretty much I have for today, because I know Ed has a lot of questions to go over here. But I hope that helps answer the question that if one of the currencies drops like crazy, yes, that does benefit the base currency to go up more easily in value simultaneously.
All right, thanks, Robert. So this is just a quick, demo of what Robert will be sharing at the next meeting. But to continue on with what we promised for this meeting, we want to make this more of a hands-on thing. You can see that in order to be a good trader, you need to understand both the fundamental, technical, and also the hands-on part. And Robert will most definitely cover the fundamental side, how to what to look for, and also how to do the charting side to spot patterns of weaknesses. And for this session, my goal is to make sure that you will have you'll get understanding and know how to pull the trigger when it's time to pull the trigger, right? When you spot a good trade. So let's go back to the chart right here for BTC USDT. Do you remember what Robert was showing? He showed that there you can buy in, right? But also you also want to ladder your exit too, right? He uses the term take profit, and in the crypto space, it's very important that whenever you are ahead, you always want to take profit, right? And I know a lot of you may be worried that, oh, what if I take profit too early, right? What if well, the better question to ask yourself is, what if you take profit too late? Because Bitcoin goes up and down in cycles. And if you look at this chart, this was the chart from 2017. Bitcoin went up all the way to 20K, and then people were holding on to it. They didn't take profit. They may have bought in at 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, and they rode it to the top, and they rode it all the way to the bottom to 3,000. And some people back here, right, they may have sold their Bitcoin thinking that, oh, this must be the end. And it's always a good idea to take profit, right? To tell yourself that if Bitcoin gets to a certain position, that area, I'm going to maybe take 5%, 10%, right? You don't have to close everything. You can just take, so that you can actually start enjoying the fruits of your hodling, right? And I'm going to show you how to set sell order, right? Especially take profit position. And for this example, this is just for short-term positions, right? Because if you have long-term positions, I don't really recommend putting all your coins on the exchange, because whenever you have coins that is in that position, right? Let's say for example, let's say I have a sell order. I think that Bitcoin is going to take 5% off, right? Whatever I have, right, in this sell order, right? If the order failed,
Seem to have some technical difficulties here with Ed. Yeah, we'll get him back shortly for you. But in the meantime, does anyone have any more questions? I'm going to drop my link here on Facebook. If anyone wants to, feel free to reach out to me on Facebook. You can find that in the chat. But if you have any more questions, definitely. There's Ed. Ed, welcome back. Can you hear us?
Okay, so hello. Goodness. Yeah, so I'll speak on it.
You're cutting in and out a little bit.
Not sure what happened on my.
You seem to be okay now. You there? Oh, maybe he's resetting. So yeah, so definitely They don't want Ed to share his secrets, that's for sure. But I think he's just gonna hop back on to restart. But in the meantime, yes, definitely you see the power of, definitely hopefully waking up or at least get you thinking and asking questions and realizing that the information is there for anyone that is interested. We got Ed coming back online right now. So Ed, maybe let's try you again.
Yeah, let's try again. I think my computer wasn't too happy with all these open tabs
Seems to be
and
good now.
windows. So should be able to. Yeah. So let's continue. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about looks like you guys are starting to talk about nibbling and such, and yeah, this is one take profit strategy. That we like some of us do utilize. So suppose let's say let's go back to the case of Bitcoin and Cardano, right? Let's say we buy some Cardano right now, right? BTC ADA. Let's say we buy some Cardano. As this is just a demo, I'm just going to buy like maybe about like I don't think we have 20 Cardano, but whatever we can afford with our account. But let's say you do have some Cardano and you believe that Cardano is going to start taking off. It's going to surpass the price of Bitcoin, and it's going to keep growing by like 2x, 3x, 10x, 20x, whatever, right? You can actually set some buy orders, or not buy orders, sell orders to exit your position. So for this case, you can, worst case, let's say we're going to buy, let's say 20 Cardano, right? Just for this example, buy 20 Cardano, we buy them at 20. Don't think that was a good price to buy at, because look, you can see right here 2047. Right now the price is trading at 2067. So in order for this order to be taken up, it has to drop down to 47. So for this example, we're just going to say that we're going to buy this by 50% in Cardano, and then we can set so we just bought some Cardano right here. We have about 10 ADA, which is fine. We can nibble away like into take profit, right? So let's say we believe that Cardano is going to 10x, right? It's going to go from 2,000 sats to 20,000 sats. It may be a good idea to set some sell orders at like 30,000 sats, right? You can sell like 10%, right? 10%. Right, you can sell 1 sats, right? You can set another sell order, right? And the next 1,000, right? At this point, you do this ADA would have like 2x already. You can set another one maybe at like 6,000, right? This is by the time it 3x's. It will set, yeah, you have another sell order. Okay, so someone's asking about like Bollinger. That we can probably cover a bit later, but you can see that one indicator I have right here is you can see this line right here and this line right here, and they form like a channel, right? So this is known as the Bollinger Band, and this this indicator, it's basically the standard deviation of the price, right? That of the price and the volatility. So it is using the volatility and the price to determine top and the bottom of the channel. And this information allows us to know that whether a certain, you can see here, right? The Bollinger Band, right? Usually when it gets to the top, it starts bounces back up. But this is what but these are all probability, because sometimes it may be at the top, it may get to the top and it keeps going up and it forms like a new, like it keeps hugging the top, right? And the top it keeps growing as well too. So this is something to be aware of. Just because it gets to the top doesn't mean that it's guaranteed at the top. But yeah, as Robert said, this is more for advanced trading. There are some people who do trade. They do like minute trading or like hourly trading at the Bollinger level, where like they can set this to like 5-minute or 1-minute chart, and whenever it gets to like the bottom of the channel, they buy, and then when it gets to top, they sell for like a small, let's say like 5% profit or 10% profit, right? But this is more like for advanced trading, and we don't really recommend doing this type of trading unless you understand and you have the risk to stomach it all, right? But maybe in the future, if we have more people who are we are more familiar with trading, we become more better at it. Like we can do like a trade together session where we can we can all study different pairs, and if we see a pair, let's say for a pair like this, right? You notice that this pair is at the top and it's about to break out, right? We can all like jump in together, right? So you can see it's at the bottom is about to come up, right? Because it's near the bottom of the band and it bounces up, right? We could do something like this together in the future. I think it's pretty fun. I've been part of groups where we do something like this, and every few nights, once a week, we meet up, and for 2 to 3 hours, we look at charts and we see something that's about to break up or about to bounce off the bottom Bollinger, we buy in. So yeah, so feel free to share any other questions. I think I've covered a bit about like how to buy in and then how to nibble your way out, right? How to plan your way out, and also another thing I want to share too, right? Is keeping track of your crypto. I know some people ask about like what are some ways to keep track of your transactions, and for tax purposes, it's always a good idea to keep track, right? I use something called I basically use some Excel spreadsheet. You can use an app, but depending on what software you use, you are giving access to your trading account, and depending on how comfortable you are. Some people aren't comfortable. I'm not comfortable with letting someone else see my trades, but that's why I use this, right, to know how much taxes I owe. But you can see this example, right? I have like different coins. I keep track of the value. I keep track of the quantity. Right? For the example we just did, right? We just did an order we bought ADA at this amount, 2,073 sats. We can do this. We bought it at 2,073 sats. How much do what quantity? We bought 10. So we do quantity 10. And then also it's always a good idea to write down like what's going in your mind, right? So maybe for our case, logically, I wouldn't buy in, seeing how it's at the top, like near the top for ADA near the top of the Bollinger, and it's also at close to like all-time high. If not, I believe not all-time high yet, because ADA was way higher back in 2017, but compared to what we have been getting in the last couple of years, right? It is near the top, right? Near the top.
Still a double
resistance right now. So it's actually not a good place. Yeah, but for this case, we're buying in. Let's just say we can also put down like thoughts like it's okay to say that FOMO, right? Sometimes it's always a good idea to keep track of your emotions, so that if you do get wrecked later on, you can look at your trading log and see, oh, I bought in this position because I was FOMOing in, right? FOMO new like closed or like after bounce off for this case 1,800 satoshis. So you can say FOMO bounce off 1800 sat, right? So later on, if it doesn't go well, or even if it goes well, you know like why you bought into this position, right? And this is how you keep track of trades, right? And you, yeah, see right here. Oh, actually not 1800, 1500, 1600, 15, 1600. So you just put like 1600 sats. So this is just one way to keep track, right? There's also another way to keep track, which is another spreadsheet I have. Right, for the same thing right here, 10, let's write down everything here. You want to write down like the amount you bought in, your entry price, quantity, and for this spreadsheet, I put down like your stop loss. Like it'll automatically calculate your stop loss, right? So you want to say that I want to stop loss. I want to sell if it drops by 20%, right? If it 2x's, like 100% ROI, take out 50%. So at this point, I would be at break even, right? And then everything from here on, right? Everything from after take 100%, I'm just playing with the house's money. And if it goes to like if a free exit, like I get to take like 25%. And then if it goes to 400, I close my position completely, and it'll tell me all these stuff, right? It'll tell me position price. Like this is 4,100 sats, right? And I can go here, input that number, and then I'll just say I'll put this amount, sell ADA, and then it should set a sell order right here. And then I can go to take profit number 2, which is when it free exits from my buy-in position, right? And I can do like sell to Cardano, and boom, another one right here. So the thing you want to note is whatever ADA you have here, they are on the exchange, meaning if anything happens to Binance, right? Even though in the past they were able to pay people back, if they suffer a major hack, they may not be able to recover everybody's funds, because I believe on Binance, they are paying out of their own pocket. Right? They're paying out of their own like transaction fees pocket. And if they suffer an attack where they lose, let's say like a significant amount of the coins, right? They may not be able to reimburse everybody. So that is a risk you have to be aware of. And sometimes if you're expecting like if you're expecting the coin to go up that high, it may be easier to set to give yourself like an alert instead, right? You can use this calculator and then you can set alerts on your app so that it'll send you a reminder or send you alerts that Cardano has reached the free X point. And then from there, after receiving alert, you can send your Cardano, your coin over to Binance and proceed to selling them. So this is, yeah. And then the spreadsheet is something I will be sharing with you guys by email. And yeah, so this is just some long-term position, right? And in the future, we may even do like when we want to try trading on the Bollinger Band, right? This is another, you can also use the same chart for this too, right? You enter a position and you tell yourself if it drops, this only works if the coin is very volatile, right? If it's very volatile and it's at the bottom of the band, right? So this is on, let's say the 3 minute, it's very volatile, it's at the bottom of the band, you buy in, like, let's say for this case, right? We bought in right here, right? We bought in at 2034, right? And let's say we bought in at 2034. Right, it'll tell us when to sell, right? It'll tell us when to sell. Which for this case, it would be, I believe there should be a lot more. Right, you can set a sell order. Well, not sell order, but stop limit. You can sell you can set a stop loss, like stop limit order, meaning if the price drops to this level, and you sell it. And for that, and then later on, it will also give you like take profit positions, right? So when to start taking profits. And for this case, right, 30.51 and 40.68 and 50, whatever amount you think, right? Sometimes you may just be like playing for like smaller gains. You may be playing for like 20% and 30%, right? And so this is just one example of like a short-term trade, but which we can go over in more details if you guys are more interested in like short-term trading. We can probably go into that. Maybe even Robert can tell some of his tricks of his trade.
Sure, Ed. Also, we have people asking about, can they get a copy of this Excel?
Like,
people would like to know if there's a possibility to get a copy of this Excel.
Everything is recorded on. So if you join Zoom, if you're part of Zoom and you provide your email address and you got a confirmation email to this link, which all you should be. I will be sending out a follow-up email with the Excel sheet. So you guys will be getting a copy of that, and you can use it as you like. But as I say, the disclaimer does apply, this is just what I use for my trading. It may or may not work for you, and yeah, you may have to tweak it if you have to. But yeah, so use at your own risk. And then lastly, I do want to show you a take profit simulator. This is something, this answers a pretty big question a lot of people have, right? Because sometimes you may ask them, when should I take profit, right? When should I take profit? If I take too early, how much am I gonna lose out on? And I just want to show you like about like 6 different scenarios, right? I'm not saying any of them are the best, but I do want to address some of the questions that people have about what happens if I take it out. So let's say you found like a coin, right? You buy in and you know that this coin will double, right? It'll double like every cycle, right? And it'll double, triple, or maybe 10x, 20x, whatever, right? So on this, let's say you put in $1,000 and you give yourself a rule. Every time it 2x's, I take 50% out. And you can see right here, you buy in 1,000, it's worth 1,000. And a few months later, it 2x's, right? What happened when it 2x's? You take 50% out, right? And after taking 50% out, you still have $1,000 in play, right? So then your total value is about $2,000. And this should be not profit taken, but it should be total value minus. This should be total value minus this, right? There should be you shouldn't be at a loss right now. And then let's say suppose it 2x's again, right? It 2x's again, and it goes from remember how you have 1,000 after you took $1,000, you still have 1,000 in play, right? This $1,000 becomes $2,000. You take some profit, which is 50%. You go back down to 1,000 in play, right? And then it 2x's again, right? Let's say by third cycle 2x's again, right? You take in $1,000, and then basically like over the course of 8 cycles, assuming that it does like go like 2x that many times, right? You can, by this calculation, you can see that you have about like, you've taken about like $8,000 in profit and you still have $1,000 in play. So that in total adds up to about $9,000 compared to someone who did not take any profit, right? You would have missed out on $247,000 with this strategy. And whether this is good or not, this is just an illustration of what could happen. I'm assuming that the coin you bought is going to get this 256x. It's most likely not going to like go that big. It most likely may go to up to about like 8x, 16x. We have seen like instances of like 60x or 100x. Some of you may have heard of the coin Aave. They have gone through like 100x. And these are possible, but you should not expect like any coin to be like that. It's more like like you have to like be in like a couple hundred coins just to get like one or two that can do like 100x. So another example, this is another rule. You take profit at every 3x. Every time it 3x's, you take your profit, and same thing right here, right? By the time it goes to like 5 cycles, or if the coin like 250x's, right? You have this much profit taken, and then compared to what's in play, you have about 63k, but you're still like you miss out from someone who has been hodling like 179k. Right, but this is based on the most optimistic situation, meaning it doesn't crash, doesn't go to zero, like you don't get scammed out, you don't lose the password, right? Because most likely, if you may have a crash at about like 40x, 20x. For Bitcoin, it was 20x, right? So, but this is more for like a long-term play. And the same thing here. This is what happens if you take out a quarter every 4x, right? You break even the moment you take out your initial investment at the 4x mark, right? And that you lose less at the same time. The question is your coin going to go all the way up to 256x, right? And then I'd also try 2 other scenarios, right? What happens if I just 10x, right? Oh, not 10x, right? Right? Just take 10% every time it doubles, right? And based on the calculation, you break even at about 8x. When it increases by 8 folds, right? You break even, and you do miss out on a lot less. Right? If it does go up to the full like 256 cycles, you do miss out on less. Right, but yeah, and it comes down to like you have to balance like a risk and reward, right? And the same thing right here. You take out 20% every 2x. But I'll be sharing this table alongside with the portfolio, these templates for you guys by email, so you guys can have some fun with these tables and try it out and decide like what is the best take profit strategy. Because I do advocate. I know a lot of people here, they say like people in some of the groups, they say, oh, you don't take profit, diamond hands, selling is for weaklings. But I do feel that like at the end of the day, like paper profit is not really profit. You do have to take some money out of it, and the whales are doing it, the traders are doing it, and I personally don't think there's anything wrong. Like you put in money, you should take some out. Like and the market will dictate whether it's a good idea or not, right? You can imagine that the guy who paid like 10,000 Bitcoin for pizza, right? Like he missed out on a lot, but at the same time, like he found joy in eating the pizza. And sometimes at the end of the day, like you have to ask yourself like why you're in the crypto space. What are you saving for, right? Are you saving for retirement? Are you saving to like for a nice vacation for a family? Are you saving for a lifestyle? You have to ask yourself, because it can be easy to like get too deep into the crypto space and lose track of your why. And when you do lose track of your why, you're no different than, so I like to use the term like a crypto zombie, like someone who's just chasing after the next zero. You lose track of why you're in this. You lose track of everything. Maybe your family hates you now because you don't spend time with them. And like a lot of us, we are in this space for a reason. And I do recommend encourage you guys to don't lose sight of that why, right? Keep track of the why so that you can come back to it. That when you do make that money, right, you can take profit. You don't have to close everything. You can just take profit on the amount you need it and enjoy life, because you only have one life. I mean, I know the people on Wall Street, but they like to say like YOLO. Yeah, and it's true. You only live once, and because you only live once, you should also enjoy it. Enjoy your life, because like if you miss out on it, right? If you miss out on it, if your family hates you, if your spouse leaves you, and you're now facing like child custody cases, I don't think that's a life that a lot of you would want to live. So enjoy life while you still can. So
I
yeah,
think
so
this is great, Ed. You're definitely showing people that you can avoid unnecessary suffering when it comes to not budgeting properly for your
yeah,
positions. And you've definitely taken the effort here to go through every possible scenario, maximize the profits at the same time, see how quickly you can pull out your initial capital to not be at risk. I'm curious to hear what your why is. I know Charlie's is probably just to create a e-gaming stadium and have a something like this, but definitely this
some
is
artist agency with crypto, like I mean mainly for education, but definitely like I see a big future for it. Like it's crazy what like you know like the storage room, like the storage like I can see like how these NFTs can relate to like the Pokemon cards and like we'll have like storage for like these NFTs in a storage place. Like that will be like you know those storage rooms where you can like store stuff. Like it will be like a vault or something. It's gonna be crazy, but like it's crazy. Like I'm very excited. But gaming and artists and entertainment has a very impact into the value of the future because definitely because robots are going to replace major jobs. Um, you have to learn skills that robots can't do, and entertainment is one of those things. So definitely,
that's so true. I heard that the robots are going to take over the collective mankind's brain
mhm,
capacity within 10 years, and esports is going to be huge. I know a little bit about Ed. He's also about, same with me. We share a passion for helping prevent people from getting scammed by bogus opportunities and programs that are out there. So we definitely wanted to always educate people how to know what to look out for, what are the red flags, and what are some proper things to look for. And once you grow your knowledge, you grow your control over what's happening, and definitely when you're informed you'll make better decisions. So Ed, I'll give it back to you.
yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna wrap up the meeting first, right? Then we can open up the floor because it's close to the 2 hour mark, and I know some of our viewers from the East Coast is getting closer to midnight for you guys. So yeah, so if you guys find this helpful, right? Just know that we are a community, and this I like to show that I'm like, if you want to go fast, you can go alone, but if you want to go far, it's always good to to go together because as a community, we will be covering other topics. We're going beyond just trading and investing. Like we want to cover other topics. Let's say, as what Charlie mentioned, NFTs, like non-fungible tokens, right? So these are like tokenized objects, right, on the internet. Like you can buy like properties, you can buy like digital properties online, and sometimes these properties could go up in value. So that's exciting thing, right? And yeah, so this is just some resources for us. We have a website. I share my like observations, my lessons learned, and other useful tools. If you want to get onto Binance, right? We do have the community link, right, which is 1hourinvesting.com/Binance. Any funds that get I guess sent over as a referral by Binance, and we will be putting it into the demos that we'll be doing in the future. Right? And then there's also the one for US. If you're from US, you can use Binance.us. This is Charlie's code, and he'll be doing some demos too as well in the future for anyone from in the US. And then if you want a cold storage, we do have a ledger too, which I'll be sharing in an email later on all these links. But yeah, finally, I do want to share this post from Reddit. So this was a Reddit post I found. This was I don't know the person, but I'm happy for this guy how he found his why. He started off as a taxi driver, right? Wasn't doing that well, but he discovered crypto. Right? One of his customers told him about crypto, and he started with just a small amount, 250 euros worth of Bitcoin, and he was dollar cost averaging for like 8 years, and now he has a lot of money. He's able to retire, and he said that he wants to retire, and he's actually retiring on like 1 month before his 40th birthday. He's able to spend the rest of his life like enjoying the time with his family. And here's a crazy thing: like he didn't have to like borrow money or like do anything crazy, right? He just took the money that he was spending on cigarettes. He was a chain smoker, smoking like 15 a day. He took the money he would have spent on cigarettes, bought Bitcoin with it. and by doing so, he was able to become wealthy and healthy by quitting smoking. So yeah, he's able to attain his why, and this is my goal for all of you guys, to achieve your financial goals and experience life. So yeah, so this is just a summary of like what we are about. And if you guys I find this helpful, we invite you come back every 2 weeks, as we do have gatherings every 2 weeks, and